Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at crackthefemalecode.com. Alright, so today I'm going to give you a real life experience and example that I had with a client of mine when we went to a club in San Francisco about 10 years ago called the Bubble Lounge. Alright, so what I want you to do is watch the last video I just uploaded. It was Seduction Secrets, and I think it was Understanding How a Woman is Seduced. I go over charts and diagrams, scientific charts and diagrams from my manual, Crack the Female Code manual for the course Crack the Female Code. And it really explains a lot of the scientific side of how we're wired neurologically. So if you watch that and then come back and watch this, it's going to make sense. But since you're here, let's go ahead and listen. You'll understand this. You'll get it. All right, so here's the deal. Men and women are neurologically wired differently, okay? And one of the things that I teach men is that women have to go through a step-by-step process before she'll have sex with you. It's not even her choice. It's the way she's wired neurologically. Just like a car is the wires and, you know, everything, the carburetor, well, don't use carburetors now, but the way everything is built and connected and wired and connected together, it is a literal process. So how do you start a car? Well, you get in the seat and you put the key in the ignition and you turn it. Well, what most men are doing without realizing it, the way a man approaches a woman, I don't mean just physically approach, but approaches romance, love, sex, even communication, is the equivalent to getting out of the car, going to the back and putting your key in the muffler and saying, hey, it won't start, and getting all pissed off, mad, and frustrated. I don't understand, it's supposed to work this way. No, not for her. She cannot be started that way. Alright, so I got this pretty cool client. I actually like this guy. He was one of my favorite, I would say, but there was he had a glitch in the matrix, let's say. So he came to me. He was a confident guy. He was well-spoken, which kind of, and I don't mean well-spoken like a businessman. I mean just a very comfortable guy. He could talk normal, blah, blah, blah. He was just really, even when he first called me after he read my book, Crack the Female Code, he really liked the book. He was excited about the course, and he was just had the natural gift of gab, let's say. So I was kind of going, okay, so, okay, well, you know, I was trying to figure out, well, what's going on with this guy. So he comes in and we talk, and again, the course is a 5-day course. It's actually, I'm going to extend it to 6 or 7 days. I may do like an extension course, but right now it's 10 sessions, okay? There are follow-ups and stuff like that, but essentially it's 10 sessions, about three hours, maybe 3.5 hours each session, and we take a break in the middle. So what happened was I got to know this guy. He seemed like a pretty cool dude. He was funny. He was a good guy, and I enjoyed coaching him. That was one of my best coaching clients, let's say. So I eventually, I don't remember if it was the second day of training or what, but I kind of said, well, so what's your problem? You seem pretty adept in this and that. And he goes, well, you know, Mike, I'm really good at talking to women. And I'm going, okay, so then why are you taking this damn course? And he goes, well, you know, no, I'm seeing, because, okay, I get a lot of guys that will bullshit me. Oh, I'm really great. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go to club. Show me. Let's go to the bookstore. Show me. I'm a show me kind of guy. Do it. Okay. So he goes, no, I'm not kidding, man. And so we ended up getting, I think, through the 8th session, and maybe we finished the course. I don't quite remember if we finished it. And we ended up going to the Bubble Lounge in San Francisco. So the guy made pretty good money. He actually worked at a mortuary, okay? And so he made actually pretty good money. I was kind of shocked at how much money they were paying. I was like, really? And he didn't have his doctorate degree. I think he had his bachelor degree. I'm not really sure about that. But the dude made really good money. So I was like, okay. Alright, so these images I just randomly threw in, these are all from the Bubble Lounge from around 2014, 2015, okay? It's in the financial district in San Francisco, and I don't think it's open. I just looked on their Facebook page, and the last picture uploaded was in 2015. If you guys know if they're open, let me know. I would love to go back there. I just actually left a message on the voicemail, so we'll see. So he went on to tell me how good he was at talking to women and opening conversations, blah, blah, blah. Now, my automatic default is, oh, this guy's full of shit. Because my number one problem before I learned this was how to open a conversation, how to attract women, I just couldn't do it. I mean, I fucking couldn't fucking do it. And every single client I had met up until this guy, this was the number one thing. I had to work with these guys. Like, they just couldn't either. Even if they could open a conversation, they were like, dude, after the second sentence, like, dude, or 2 minutes, like, one guy goes, dude, I don't know what the fuck, like, I don't have anything else to say, like, run out of things to say, right? So I'm looking at this dude, and I go, really? So you can just walk up to women? He goes, no, Mike, and he was adamant. He goes, Mike, I'm telling you. He goes, when we go out, I'll show you. He goes, you let me lead. I'm like, all right, dude. So I figured I'm going to take him to one of the bigger clubs, one of the more popular clubs, because he said he could do it. So we end up going to Bubble Lounge, which if you were in San Francisco about 10 years ago, it was, like, in my opinion, the number 2 club. Not just to meet women, to pick up on women, but because it was just fun. It was had couches everywhere. It had like 3 different DJs in 3 different sections, different rooms or areas. It was just a really cool place. All right, believe it or not, but I just got a phone call. It is now called Barbarossa, so I'm going to have to figure out where that's at, but I'll Google that later. All right, so we walk in, and right here, this is an image of. This isn't the same lady. It might be, but I don't recognize her. Handed our coats. You had to pay a couple bucks. You get your little stub, to get it back later. So we walk in, and now I'm handing her my coat, and I start to talk to her, and all of a sudden I turn around to my left, and he is already talking to 2 women. Now I was like, holy shit, that was freaking fast. So. I remember the hostess, she was talking to me, wow, that guy's fast. I'm like, yeah, I go, he's actually a client of mine. And she goes, yeah, and she knew what I did. I'd known her before. I brought clients there. And we were watching him together, and I was like, man, that guy's actually pretty good. And she's like, yeah. So whatever, he goes, Mike, come on over. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I walked over there. He goes, I already ordered some drinks. I think he got, I don't remember, I think it was actually champagne, I think. So he already ordered the drinks. They're going to be on the way, etc. So we ended up sitting down, and right here, this is the actual couch that the 2 girls sat on, and then we saw there was another couch at an L shape from this one, okay? So we're at a 90-degree angle, and we were talking to them. Now watch what happens. So he's just rambling on, talking, and the drinks come, and all 4 of us got a drink, and he paid for everything. It was really cool about that. And I was just kind of sitting back. I was kind of a little, what's the word, not only impressed, but a little bit jealous maybe. Because I'm like, hey, man, that's not really my job. And so he's just talking to these girls, introduced me to him, and we're sitting down talking. He is really engaging. And I'm like, wow, this guy's like really good. All right. Now, one of the things I'd really emphasize to this guy was the pattern and the process that women have to go through. So here it is. This is a diagram out of my manual for the course, Cracked Female Code, my course. And I explained it in depth to him, and he said he understood it. I'm like, are you sure? Because this is one of the errors that men make, is they want to go straight to sex. Because again, okay, so here's the pattern. If you look at the right one, that's the female. Women are internal, meaning they have to go from their head, their forehead, down into their heart and down into their groin area. So first, you have to make a mental connection. So your forehead to her forehead. So your 3, that's the left side, the blue, that's the boy, to her number 1, mental. Most men want to start with sex, number 1. We see a pretty girl, we're attracted, we're turned on, we're ready to have sex. And this is, oh, by the way, this is something that shocks women. They're like, what are you talking about? I go, I'm telling you, our mating system is connected to our eyes through the optic nerve. And I say this to women all the time. I say, look, once we look at a woman, once we see her and we think she's hot, we're ready to have sex. And she goes, you're joking. I'm like, no. I go, to be honest with you, men don't need to even know your fucking name. All they need to know is that they have permission to have sex with you, and then they're ready to go. And she's like, you're joking. Because a woman has to go through this step 1, step 2, step 3 process. So, number 1, women are absolutely blown away. They're like, you're telling me a man can just look at a woman and they're ready to have sex? I go, yeah, if she's his type and she's hot, absolutely. And I literally said to her, we would prefer that you don't talk. Now, to women, This is the complete opposite. A woman's mating system is designed, it is literally neurologically connected to her right brain's communication center. Again, not the logical male communication center. That'll turn her off. And so this is the process that men are like, why? That doesn't make sense. It only doesn't make sense to you because your mating center system is not neurologically connected to your right brain's communication center. If it was, your ears and words, well, the certain hidden words, the hidden language I call it, would turn you on sexually. So this is the hard part for men to grasp my course because you're like, well, that wouldn't turn me on. I'm like, I know, because you don't have a vagina. You are not a woman. Alright, so here's the deal. Her mating system has a nerve that curves off to her right brain's communication center. So I point at my ears and say, this is the way a woman is turned on. And then I point to my eyes because, again, the male mating system is connected to the optic nerve, which connects to your eyes. I'm pointing to my eyes because men are turned on by porno, by Playboy magazines, by visual images of naked or gorgeous, sexy women. So this is why men, the problem is you keep trying to turn women on the way that you're turned on. That does not work. Alright, so here's the deal. This whole purpose of this video is to get you to understand this one thing, and then I'll go back to the story. So first you got to connect with her mentally through what's called mentally stimulating communication. And yes, I teach you how to do this in the course. Then you have to drop down, like you neurologically, emotionally, your awareness has to drop down inside your body. And then you have to speak what's called the emotionally fulfilling language. I dare you to say, here's what you could do. You could say, I watched a video on YouTube or I talked to this guy named Mike. And he says that women really enjoy mentally stimulating and emotionally fulfilling communication. And then just stop. Now pay attention to her eyes and her face and see if she freezes up, opens up, her eyes dilate. Just notice what happens. There's going to be a shift. She might even freeze for a moment or might not say anything at all. Okay? So these words, by the way, okay, I'm just gonna say it. These are those two words will stimulate a woman sexually. Those are what I call fuck words, fuck language. So in the last video, I told you the word expansive will turn a woman on sexually. The word mentally stimulating, emotionally fulfilling. Those words will literally make her body feel sexual. And they will turn her on. And you're thinking, what the fuck? Mentally stimulating, emotionally fulfilling, expansive? Guys, that literally is XXX porno. Okay, so you know how you look at a XXX rated porno on Pornhub or whatever? Women are the same way, but it has to be done through words. For men, it's done through it visually, through images or video, which is, again, it's visual. For women, it's done auditorily through a hidden series of words that have absolutely no meaning to men. So, and here's the thing. Women say these words all the time to you, but it goes right over your head. So here's the deal. Mentally stimulating and emotionally fulfilling communication, if you're really good at it, you can get her really going in about 15 to 30 minutes. And it depends on how good rapport you have with her, which I will teach you in the course. There's actually a series of rapport skills that you learn. And how comfortable you become. The more comfortable you are, the more comfortable she becomes. And again, I condition this into you during the course, okay? This is all included. So here's the deal. All I'm trying to say is this. For women, it is literally a process where she has to go through, and you have to learn how to communicate in both sides of the brain in order to guide her through this process, in order for her... Okay, so if I think I already said it, like, so the mentally stimulating communication, that's like a lockbox. You have to fill that up enough, like a bowl, and once you fill it up, that lockbox pops open. She drops down to her emotional, level number 2. That's like another, like a little fish bowl, like a goldfish bowl. When you fill it up with enough emotionally fulfilling communication, pop, it opens up, and then she drops down, and now she wants to connect with you sexually. Who would have known that linguistics, communication, and science were the hidden secret to getting laid? And literally, happy wife, happy life, because I'm telling you, without this, it's going to be bitchy wife, bitchy life forever. Alright, so here he was rambling away. We had been sitting there for about 7 minutes maximum. In fact, I don't even think it was 7 minutes. And again, they were on this couch that this couple's on right here. And literally out of the blue, now he broke rapport. He just like, I think he might even stood up real abruptly, but he kind of either leaned forward or he stood up and he goes, hey, I got an idea. Let's go back to my place. He goes, I've got a pool table, a dartboard, I got a full bar, I've got a refrigerator full of beer, I can do mixed drinks, and they literally kind of like these two, they kind of cuddled together, kind of almost leaned in towards each other, and like wrapped their arms, and he couldn't tell that they were actually terrified of the idea, like, hey, we just met you two fucking guys. We don't know if you're psychos. We don't know if you're crazy. And oh, by the way, this is one of the reasons why women, her Mother Nature made women, their mating system to be, you have to first connect mentally, then emotionally. They're trying to get to know you. They're trying to feel your vibe to see if you're a psycho, are you crazy? If she goes home with you, are you going to kill her? So this is one of the reasons why Mother Nature designed women the way she did. Now I got to be honest with you, the way he bolted up like that, and the way he raised his volume, he just like blurted, "Hey, let's go to my place and let's do this and let's do that." About a dartboard, pool table. It actually scared me too, because I was like, "Whoa, what?" I go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And the girls literally looked at me like, "Please," like they were looking to me to fix this. Now, if you remember in the last video, I talk about how women are internal and how you have to drop down inside. Now what happens is, the reason why they looked at me for reassurance and to save them, because they literally got scared, is because I was in my right brain, which is where most women are at, especially in social environments like that. So he was in the zone when we first got there, but he popped out the minute he wanted, because so what happened was he connected to his mating system, the reptilian system, from the right brain. Now the right brain is the social brain, the relationship brain, and he popped into let's go fuck, let's have sex, and he shifted over into his other brain, which completely broke rapport. And remember, your reptilian system, where your mating system is, that's your animal brain, that's the predator brain, and it scared the living crap out of the girls. And it kind of, I literally go, whoa, whoa, I had to grab him, kind of sit him back down and lean. I go, whoa, whoa, I go, we're having a really good time, why don't you just relax? I go, we don't even know them, we're trying to get to know them, right? And he looked at me like, what the fuck's wrong with you? So I got him to relax and calm down. And I said, remember, it's about communication. And when the girls heard me say that, like, yeah. And so, and not only that, but when I said it's about getting to know them, the women looked like, wow, like, yeah, that's exactly what it was. Because a woman's system is looking to get to know you. Again, that's the mental and emotional connection before having sex. It's the way she's designed. She can't help it, okay, guys? But if you get good at this, you can do this like within an hour or less. The fastest I've ever done it was 30 minutes. Met a girl at a bookstore. 30 minutes later, had her home in bed. But I only lived about 5 blocks away. So, but it also, her circadian rhythm was also at the place where she was in her cycle in that place. So that's part of it. And I'll teach that to you in the course too. All right. Now this is all science, guys. This goes deep. So again, we're there for about 7 minutes. He bolts up, says, let's go to my place. I got a pool table and all this great stuff. I could play music. I've got spinning lights. And he basically had like a mini club in his freaking condo. And so I calmed him down. And believe it or not, the girls out, because I thought he blew it. I thought, oh, the girls are just going to get up and fucking leave. They're like, because it was a jolting, jarring thing that he did. So I had to gain rapport with him, slow him down, slow things down again to get it comfortable. And they actually opened back up to us. And I was like, wow, okay, so this is good. This is going good. So we start talking for about 2, maybe 3 minutes. And all of a sudden, he jumps up. He goes, God damn it. You like me. I like you. I want to fuck. You want to fuck. Let's go back to my place and fuck. And he's like pissed and he's yelling this. And I'm like, dude, what the? And at this point, these girls are terrified. They're leaning away. They're clinging to each other. And I'm like, whoa. And and they're looking to me to save them. So I get up and I wrap my arm around them. They go, dude, what the fuck? And they go, I fucking told you. You got to slow it down. And so I literally pull, like, let's go outside. So I pull him outside, and he starts to argue with me. He goes, why do they got to play this fucking game? Blah. And he's just all pissed off. And I'm thinking, like, dude, like, we'd only been interacting with him maximum 10 minutes all combined. And, 7 minutes in, you already, like, blew it. So I said, remember, it's about communication. 1, 2, 3, mental, emotional, physical. And he looks at me. He goes, oh, I don't care about that. And I'm like, dude, we're done. So that was like, I'm done. I am done with you, dude. This is because he literally, he leaned over them. He was it's like he was going to kick their ass. So it was a pretty intimidating thing that he had done to the girls. And I was like, that's just not cool. And here's the worst part about it. Like, he had these girls in his pocket. Like, they really liked him. And the one girl that he liked really liked him. And the thing was, it was a simple misunderstanding. It's just a pattern, mental, emotional, and then sexual. And the thing is, he knew the patterns, he knew the communication stuff and the languaging patterns and all that stuff, and he just wanted it now. But here's the deal. The male brain is designed to go from point A to point B now. It makes sense from a male's perspective. I get it. Okay? And not only that, but we are already turned on the minute we see a girl that we find to be physically and sexually attractive. But women are not wired that way. So for women, it really does come down to personality and communication. And a lot of guys think that's bullshit. And you know why you think that? Because you're not wired that way. You see a girl. So the male hunter system is the reason why our communication system is the way it is. It's from point A to point B. No screwing around, no beating around the bush. Whereas the female system is designed to beat around the bush on purpose. And that's another, oh God, that's a whole nother subject I'm not going to go into right now. Okay, so one thing I will say is this. If I can give you one tip from this video, just talk, carry a conversation, and it's going to take a while, especially if you don't know the hidden secrets and the patterns and the languaging skills and all that stuff. But if you just carry a conversation, it'll help a woman to feel closer and more comfortable. So I'm going to leave this video where it is now. If you have any questions, go ahead and contact me. I would actually recommend that you buy my book, Correct Female Code. It will, I'm telling you, if you think any of these videos have enlightened you, that book puts the pieces together in a way that I couldn't possibly do in a video. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.